The Masters in Data Protection and Privacy, Law and Computing is a completely unique program. There literally is no other program in it, a program like this in Europe anyway, for sure, or at least there wasn't in the last a few months ago when I checked. Maybe there is in America, although I don't think so. The reason why it's unique is because it combines two disciplines, and universities, somewhat unfortunately, are not good at cross-faculty collaboration. But we've managed to create such a collaboration in this, and the program is delivered jointly by the School of Law and Government and the School of Computing. So we had a series of interactions with law firms, with privacy firms, this is years ago now, because this program has been running, I think, 4 years now. And we kept getting a lot of feedback that in the field of privacy and data protection, which was obviously kicking off at the time with the introduction of the GDPR, that companies and I assume governmental agencies, because we've had a lot of students from governmental and public organizations, were really struggling to get to grips with both the legal and the technical sides of data protection. And if you think about it for any length of time, you'll realize that in the digital world, it's extremely difficult to separate the technology from the law. And if you just have a legal understanding, trying to understand how computers, how code, how data works and is governed. So I'm a pure lawyer, even though my master's on law and technology, it was a law master's. I don't really know how data works in any great depth. So I'm single-minded. And likewise, if you're a computer scientist, you might have an extremely deep understanding of coding and data management, cloud computing and all these things. But your understanding of, if you try to read the GDPR, you're going to struggle. So we came together with the School of Computing and developed a program where we offer an understanding of both sides, both the computing and the legal side of privacy and data protection. And obviously, this is of huge importance in the modern world, where everything is done through computers, and privacy and security and data protection is it's in the news every single day. The regulators are handing out fines. Even the other day, there was the Supreme Court ruling that there was an illegal seizure in the Quirk case. We have the Graham Dwyer case. And law is having to seriously adapt how it works in light of new technologies, and data protection and privacy is one striking example of how that works. And this degree is an attempt for legal education to catch up with the problems that law has, trying to adjust to technology and trying to understand technology, and likewise computer scientists having to adapt and trying to understand law. So while this might scare some of you if you are watching this as an undergraduate law student and is terrified at the idea of maths or computer science, I'm here to reassure you. Don't worry, don't panic. We've built this degree in such a way that we adapt the course based on your pre-existing understandings, your pre-existing qualifications. So if you come from a law background, you'll have to do modules from the School of Computing, but there will be no math. The computing modules that you'll take are accessible to lawyers. I could walk in, and if I started at week 1, they would build you up to, by the end of the module, you have that deep understanding of how data is governed and managed. So don't panic. We've separated out the degree into a law stream and a computing stream. And if you're a lawyer, if you could have an undergraduate qualification as in law, or you've worked in law, then you enter the law stream, and the modules that you take from computer science will be accessible, and the lecturers know that they have a classroom with lawyers in it. So they're not going to jump straight ahead into deep matters of mathematics. They're not going to do that. And likewise, if there are any computer scientists watching, we don't throw you in at the deep end in law either. we have modules that will be accessible to you. The program has proven to be extremely successful. You can probably tell by the way that I'm talking, hopefully anyway, that it has, our students are in high demand, and many of them have gone on to, in a very short space of time, to successful careers. One of the advantages of this master's is that it gives you a clearly defined area of expertise without having to become a solicitor or a barrister. Now, obviously, I can't make any promises that you're going to get hired the day you graduate in some big firm or anything, but people who complete the course can go into the many tech firms in Dublin and say they have a high level qualification in both computing and law in the area of privacy, and that gives them a significant advantage for these firms. So it is again, it's a unique program, and in an area that people, at least right now, there's a high demand for people in that area. There's both full-time or part-time options. So what we've seen in the previous years of the course is that there's a roughly speaking, a 50-50 split between people who are finished undergraduate and want to take the course, so just out of undergraduate, and then a group of people who are working in the area. So we've had people from the government, we've had people from top companies, we've had solicitors, we've had barristers, all coming to do the course. And that has worked out to be a fantastic blend, because obviously people of my generation and older, there was no, privacy was not taught in law school. So there's a lot of people now working in privacy who have absolutely no qualification or never studied privacy. So we see these people who are sometimes have really high level jobs coming back to university to try and gain a deeper understanding of the field and receive some kind of formal education. And that then is combined with a group of people who are just finished undergraduate and wanted to try and specialize in a specific field that they think is going to give them good opportunities. And it's worked out to be a wonderful blend. We have people from computer science backgrounds, law backgrounds, people who have a huge amount of experience, some people who have no experience, just finished undergraduate, and in the classes and the dynamics in the class have been fantastic, and a lot of people learning from again, like the LLM. One of the great benefits of a course like this is not just what you learn; it's the connections you build. It's the people you meet from different backgrounds in this case, and that's just as valuable as anything that you learn. I should just say on that point that we do run a seminar series and have done for the last 4 years, where people from the professions or companies, or we've had people from Arthur Cox and Grant Thornton and various other companies and public organizations come in and have a short seminar where the class comes together, asks some questions, and maybe goes out for a drink afterwards and gets to know people who are working in the field already. So there's another dimension where we have talks from people working in the area. And excuse me, we have here's a list of the modules. So we have 4 core modules. So one is research skills. So if you're a computer, we try and help you make that leap to postgraduate education. And so whether you're from a law background, you'll do a law research skills module. If you're from a computing background, you'll do a computing research skills module, which kind of sets you up for how to do well in the assessments in the course, and how to ultimately produce a good dissertation or a computing practicum, depending on what stream you're in. Then there are 3 core modules which you have to do, and you have to do them for obvious reasons. You need to know the basics of EU data protection law. You need to know the basics of, or not the basics, but the basics and the advanced aspects of data governance and artificial intelligence information and information seeking, which is like how information is managed and how we process it, and various other things that I don't really understand from computing. And even if you just take the core modules there, you're going to have a good understanding of data protection law. And then we have various optional modules that you can pick. Human rights law, so in Europe, privacy is seen as a human right. So its origins are in human rights law. We have a commercial-based module which touches on things like blockchain. So it's contemporary legal issues in commercial practice. So it has various strands about how law is dealing with technology. We have institutional law, which helps you understand the relationship of European institutions, and obviously privacy is a huge part of that. And then data management, visualization, and then the module most people do, which is comparative privacy law. So we're looking at privacy law beyond the EU, American, Australian, Asian privacy laws and how they compare to the GDPR. One last point on this is the dissertation and computing practicum. So this is a big piece of work. And again, it's on a topic that you find interesting. And it's designed to deepen your research skills. It's designed to help you articulate a difficult problem and help you try and reason your way to some kind of solution. And it's such a rich area with novel developments happening all the time. There's such space for research in this field. We've had some fantastic projects come out of the course. So that gives you a chance to focus on something you're really interested in. And here is the entry requirements. I won't spend too much time. There's more details on the website. Usually we accept people with the 2-1 in an undergraduate. The thing with an undergraduate in either law or computing or computer science or IT, the thing to say about this is that we do pay more than usual, compared to other more standard postgraduate qualifications, we pay more attention to relevant work experience. So if you're somebody who's been working in the field for the last 10 years, then we'll attach great weight to that when considering your application. And I should say that the Masters in Data Protection and Privacy, in some sense, runs alongside another program we have, a European Masters in Law, Data and Artificial Intelligence. The program has been so successful, or it's been well received, that a colleague of mine, Dr. Eduardo Celeste, used it as a launch pad for a European Masters proposal. So we have students rotating in from other universities in a separate program, and they link into some of the modules, which again provides an even richer experience. Not only do we have people from computing, law, people with a lot of experience in the field, people with very little experience in the field, we have other people from across the globe circulating into some of the modules, and it's a really good environment to learn.